Hi, welcome to another Team Solomon Circus deck profile. Today we're going over Floowandereeze. I've done pretty decently with some online local events with the deck, and I'm just trying here to show off the deck profile and hopefully you guys enjoy. So to start off the deck, we play 2 M-Pen. He's one of your cards you see the most. So he's kind of like your turn 1 boss monster. He does search the trap card, this one here. Lets you normal summon on your opponent's turn, which helps you set up your lock of Ryza. He also lets you summon normally the barrier statue when you summon him himself, and he locks your opponent's out of activating effects that are in attack position. So any link monsters your opponent summons are pretty much garbage. Also, when it attacks, you can banish a card to make that opponent's monster half the attack. It does come up. He's your best boy. Next, we play, for the little bird, we play 3 Robina, 3 Eaglin. I play 1 Stree and 1 Toucan. I have been playing 2 Stree. It's a really good card. I just find that I don't really need it with all the amount of consistency the deck now has, but that's up to my personal preference. So all the little birds have the same effect of when they leave the field, they get banished. And whenever they're in the banished, once per turn, when you normal summon a winged beast, you can return it to hand. It does start a chain. So let's say you have Eaglin in the banished zone, and you normal summon Robina. You can go chain link 1 Robina, chain link 2 Eaglin, so your opponent cannot ash you. It's pretty great. They each have different effects. So Robina searches a level 4 or lower winged beast monster. It's really good because then you can search your Eaglin and then you immediately normal summon. You have to search to normal summon, which kind of sucks. But you know, the deck has to have some weakness. And so Robina normally searches Eaglin. Eaglin, when he's normal summoned, he gets a search for a level 7 or higher winged beast monster, and then you immediately normal summon it. So Stree here is the one that also banishes. It does not need to banish a Floowandereeze. It needs to banish any card on the field. So DPE is a great target for it. Even, you know, you could banish your M-Pen here. You could banish your shifters. You could, if you want to activate another one, you could banish a map. You could banish an adventurer. Anything to get them out of the graveyard. Any of your opponent's cards, you know, if they have DP on the field, you can banish Celestial, you name it. Toucan here, on the other hand, is the one that retrieves a banished Floowandereeze from deck to hand. Or not from deck to hand. It returns a Floowandereeze that is banished to the hand. That does not just mean the monsters. So if you banish M-Pen with a Stree, you can add it back with Toucan. If you banish a map, you can add that back with Toucan. But yeah, if we could add anything back, it'd be insane. But unfortunately, you know, gotta have some balance. Next, we play the person you see the most beside the M-Pen. You see Stormwind. You only play 1 of it, but you're gonna pretty much see it in your hand anyways because the card loves being there. It's a soft brick, but you can still use it because you can always normal summon again. And then we play Mega Monarch and Apex Avian. These two have 2 different purposes of the deck. This serves as your lock. I have been thinking of cutting down our penguin and playing 2 of it, but it can recycle itself. It also helps because, you know, you can stack your opponent's deck technically and give them bricks so that, you know, you're stopping them from drawing anything. And this just serves as everyone, you know, it just serves as a negate and returns to hand, so, you know, you can continue using it. Then for our hand traps, we only play 3 Shifter. I have thought about playing DD Crow, but I haven't tested it out that much. I find that's like decentest format, plus Stree does the same thing. If you open up Shifter and Robina, it's pretty much an FTK. But yeah, so if this card resolves, you're pretty much in the go. Then we play 3 maps here. It serves as like a kind of like a starter, but it helps you play through stuff like because it gives you another normal summon, and it also puts your card in the banished. So you reveal one of your little birds to then put another bird in the banished zone, which makes you play around Ash. and that count. Then you immediately normal summon. That's not counting your original normal summon, so it's all off of the map. The card's also super cute, as most of the Floowandereeze cards are. It shows them, you know, their pattern of history. So we see, like, you know, the penguin at the end, and then we see them going to all the different places. It's cool how they have like a little lore behind the cards, I think. Then we play the new Advent. So this card is insane. You banish one winged beast monster from your hand or face up field, then you add a Floowandereeze monster or map from your deck to your hand, then you gain 500 life points. The 500 life points doesn't seem much relevant, but it's actually really, really good in time, and versus some of the Prank Kids players, it does make a difference. What's also good about this card is that you can set it, and then when your opponent activates droplets, on, let's say if you have M-Pen and Bear Statue on the field, and they pitch for 2, you can actually chain Advent, banish any of them. So let's say you banish the M-Pen, then droplets will fizzle due to the fact that it has to negate both of those monsters if 2 is sent. So it helps you play around a bunch of cards. You can also use it during your combo. So let's say you normal summon Robin, activate the effect. Your opponent wants to chain Imperm. You can chain this to dodge the Imperm. So it's pretty good. Then we also play the One Unexplored Winds. This card's absolutely beautiful. It pretty much is your Stormforce of the deck. It also has another other effect where you can send or you can return up to 2 winged beast monsters from your hand, place them at the bottom of the deck, then draw that many cards. A lot of people think you have to return 2, but you actually only have to return 1 to draw 1. Yeah, the card's pretty cracked. Then for consistency, you play 3 Prosperity. Extravagances is a perfectly good budget option, but I do really like the fact that you can dig for your combo pieces. And then I play 3 Duality. I know I might get hate for the gold, but I love triggering my opponents. That's why I also play the Platinum Rare Gold Sark. Throws them off their game. Nothing to say about Duality. Then for our going second cards, I do play 3 Dark Ruler No More and 3 Lightning Storm. I believe that this deck struggles a lot going second against established boards, so I find that instead of playing hand traps, I'd rather play, you know, board breakers. The reason why I play Dark Ruler No More over the droplets is because the deck struggles a lot with card advantage, and you don't want your monsters in grave anyways. And you know, normally you're only going to attack for like 28 is like the maximum, or 27 with M-Pen, or maybe 28 or 27 with Avian. You're not like you're dealing heavy damage, and you know, the deck has a really good grind game, so it's okay to not have any damage that turn. Then for the one-ofs, we play the, as mentioned, the Platinum Rare Gold Sark. We played the Called by the Grave, the Terraforming, and the Mystic Mine. So Mystic Mine is, you know, same problem. The deck struggles going second. So if, you know, you can either bait or negate, or if you just Dark Ruler No More and play Mystic Mine to try to out. The deck only really plays on 2 monsters. So if your opponent has a big board already established, you can still win. Terraforming is a pretty bad card. If you do side out Mystic Mine, I would side out the Terraforming. If you don't want to play it, you don't really want to play Terraforming. It's more of a, you know, win more you see map. But due to the fact that it can also go Mystic Mine, I play it. You really don't want to get drolled in the deck, so, you know, that's why I would say if you're not playing Mystic Mine, don't play Terraforming. Call by the Grave is Call by the Grave, you know. You don't want to get Ash, you don't want to get Drolls, you don't want to get Lanciad. So you kind of need to play any card that can stop it. And then the Gold Sark is just, you know, another, I would say, half starter, because you really need 1.5 cards to start. You need either two little birds, or something that gets one of the birds to the banish zone, so that counts. You can also banish the Advent with Gold Sark to add it back with the Toucan. So I definitely think it's like a good thing that people should know about. And then finally, I play the Dreaming Town, the Trap. It's what you search off M-Pen when you go first, and just lets you, you know, summon another monster or normal summon on your opponent's turn. And then the other effect that a lot of people forget, it has a UTC effect when you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster, you banish it, and then you just flip all your monsters face down. So let's say you summon let's say you don't have Ryza, you summon Apex Avian, you can then activate Dreaming Town in Grave to flip all your opponent's monsters face down. And then you can activate Toucan to add it back if you needed to. Now for the extra deck, I play Cherries in the side, so I think that it's definitely different. So one Link Karibo, one Relinquish Anima. All your monsters are pretty much Link 1, so you can just summon one of these and it can come back. Link Karibo doesn't really come up, so I might cut it, but you just need it just in case. And then I play the Baron Blossom, and I play Shureg. Then I play a Geode. I'm testing it out. With Geode and Anima, your opponent really never has any safe zones other than the one that's all the way in the left corner. A lot of good players will play around it anyways, but Geode's pretty good if you end up going through and you end up having a little bird on the follow-up sitting there, and you want to swip it for, like, let's say a monster with more attacks just so you can go for game. We do play a Wind Charmer. The only purpose for stealing is for stealing Baron. You could play the water, but there's not really targets that, unless you really, really want to take a Mogi, then you can play the water. And then we play the Zeus package, 2 Nightingale, a Downard, and a Zeus. The second Nightingale is completely, optional. I would honestly might cut it. You don't need 2 Zeus and you don't need 2 Downard. The reason why I played 2 Nightingale is because a lot of the time if your opponent knows what you're doing, and let's say they're playing a trap deck and you go first and you set up your board, you can end with 2 level 1s on field, and then you just you XYZ into the symbol and they'll strike you. So you kind of just need a second just in case. It's really only for the trap decks. So for this part of the extra deck, it's really just Cherries targets. So I'm just gonna show you what, some options you can play and explain why. So first, Access Code. Access Code should be in your deck either way, but it's just better as a Cherries target. And then we play the Halki Fibrax, the Prank Kids, the Rusty, the DPE, and then the Baron and Chimera. I would say these are the more optional ones. So yeah. So the reason why behind all these is, well, Access Code you need to play, and if you are playing against it, you want to stop it. Same thing with Hulk. Hulk is a really powerful card right now with all these pile decks. So if you see that your opponent can make a Hulk, and that's the play they're going to go for with the Auroradon, you can just cut it off there. I think this is better than the Auroradon for the fact that you don't know if your opponent's going to summon the 001 or if they're going to summon the like a Red Rose or something. So I think that the Hulk is maybe the better play. Your hardest matchup is PK, I believe, or PK Brave, because they can set up the Dagda and then they can get Lancia going second, not going second, in game 2. So I definitely think that, Rusty is a good place there. And then DPE because all the DPE decks, and then Baron for the same reason as Hulk, and Sword Soul can just hit Baron. It's pretty good. And then these are the 3 flex. Well, I mean, you can't play all of them. These are really for just your locals. I'll talk about Chimera at the end. So with Pack and Jack YGO playing a lot of DDDs in it, seeing more play, I definitely think it's an option that people should look at, and this is probably their best extra deck spot because it stops them from setting their scales and from making an easy the Machine X, whatever it's called. So I definitely think that's the spot that you want to stop. And then if you have a lot of Prank Kids players, again, Prank Kids is getting kind of popular, so I definitely think that cutting off their search for the spell card and just the add back is pretty powerful. They will also be stuck after they make Meow into going into either Phoenix or if they wouldn't go into Phoenix if they want to continue. So they're pretty much stuck into going to Dog if you rip off their Doodle-Doo. And that's not very good, so definitely think. And then Chimera. So Chimera is like, at my locals, there's a lot of, well, there is a Despia player who plays really good. And I think it's important that, you know, you start looking at like respecting Despia, because definitely with the Alba structure deck, it becomes like so insanely powerful. You could go for Masquerade, but Chimera is like either a draw 2 or a pop 2. So like that, to me, that's absolutely insane. If they can't make that, then you know, it hinders their board a lot. Plus this card's just overall like actually just insane. You'll never be able to make it, but I think it's super respectable, and you have to look forward to that. So that's just like a sneak peek, I guess. That's all I got for the deck profile. Please hope that you like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section down below. And remember to negate.